Welcome to Inspirational Journeys, everyone. My name is Anne Harrison, and today I am happy to introduce my special guest, a teenage Canadian indie author, and podcast host, Porscha Aubrey. Welcome to the show, Porscha.
Hey guys, I'm
Thank-
Porscha Aubrey.
Thanks so much. Yeah. So before we get started and get into the interview, I'd like for you to tell the listeners and the viewers a little bit about yourself.
Well, as you've already read off, I'm a teenage author and podcast host. Let's see, I've so far published 2 novels. I've been podcasting for over a year. I also juggle many things in my life, like writing, podcasting, school, work, helping my friends with their stuff, and freelancing. So I juggle a lot of things in my life and somehow manage to get by every day. So I love it. I love the experience and all that.
Wow. So can I ask you what grade are you in school?
I'm currently in 11th grade.
Oh wow, girl, you had the business mindset early. I wish I had the business mindset as young as you are now. When I was your age, I mean, I didn't know what I wanted to do, but anyway, enough about me. So what inspired you to start writing?
Well, my entire life, I really enjoyed writing. Even like a few years ago, when I went back to one of my old places, I found one of the first books I actually tried to write, which was about space. Every single word was written incorrectly because like a 6, but it made me so happy just to see like how much I enjoyed writing. But I started taking it more seriously at the beginning of 9th grade when I started writing my first novel, Deathchill. And before that, I wrote like stories, but never finished them, and scripts too.
Oh wow. So um let's talk about Deathchill. Is it a historical fantasy?
Not necessarily. It's more of like a fantasy action adventure with a tiny bit of romance, but action adventures, the majority of it.
Ah, okay. Because I know the listeners and the viewers, and I'm gonna be honest, I haven't read it yet. I've been kind of busy myself. I do apologize for that.
That's
But
perfectly fine.
I will because now that I see that it's on Kindle Unlimited, for those of you who don't know, I probably will read that pretty soon actually. Okay, so tell me, what was the inspiration behind Death Chill?
Well, a lot of the stories that I've written or have like book ideas written down in my journal, a lot of them actually came to me through a dream. And that's the same with Death Chill. Like I had multiple dreams and I decided the initial dream it was like it was a dream of like a bunch of people's superpowers all fighting each other in like team battles for school and that. And I was like, hey, that would actually make a pretty good book. And then as I was writing Death Chill, I'd have like more dreams as like, hey, that actually fit really well with the book I'm writing. So I'm going to throw that scene in as well. So like majority of my books, they actually come to me like through dreams and such.
Wow, you are a dreamer like me and so many writers that I know, and a few other writers I know. That is amazing. So, you said in your bio that it's the Death Chill is a trilogy. Do you have the third book in the trilogy published yet?
The third book in the trilogy is published March 5th, but I have it all set up on Amazon already press publish. Just waiting for like words. Just waiting for I can't remember the word, but just waiting for recognition of it to grow a bit more.
Oh, okay. Did you do pre-orders, or are you just doing
I tried to do a pre-order for Flame Rip, but for some reason Amazon denied it. So I do pre-orders for what's it called? It's the ebook version for chapters, Kobo. I do pre-orders for Kobo, but for some reason Amazon, when I tried to do pre-orders, they blocked it. So I had to reformat the entire book. So I can't do pre-orders for Amazon.
And I'm surprised you were able to get it on Kindle Unlimited and publish it on Kobo and other places too. How did that work?
For the first book, I selected as Kindle Select or whatever it is, and for the second and third book, I didn't. I put it as allowing me to publish it on other sites. So that's why on Kobo only Flame Rip and Arctic Blaze is available there.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, tell me a little bit about, okay, what got you started? How did you get started in the podcasting world?
Well, one day I was thinking like, I really wanted to get into podcasting for a while, and I decided like, what's stopping me from getting into podcasting? So I figured the name Creative Writing Club would be a really popular name for like podcasting and such. But when I did my own research, I never found anything involving Creative Writing Club. So I decided, hey, I'll just pick Creative Writing Club since I know for a fact that'll definitely help with like getting more listeners, since it's such an easy name for people to look up and such. And even then I decided to like run a magazine under the name Creative Writing Club as well. So yeah, I decided Creative Writing Club, and I was really interested in creative writing for pretty much my entire life. So I decided like, hey, I'll share some of my experiences. I'll read off some chapters from books, book reviews. I'll help people with like using very and really not as much and all that kind of stuff. So I figured help out people, and it also help gain recognition for my books as well.
Nice. And I saw in your bio you want to start a publishing company with the Creative Writing Club brand, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I know we touched on a couple of things with your podcast and your idea behind the publishing brand, but tell me about your writing process, because I'm curious. Did you pants your novels? Did you do a lot of plotting?
Well, for my first book, Deathchill, I did not plot out a single thing. I pretty much just came up with a bunch of characters, wrote down their names, and then I started off. And then later on in the writing process, I realized there were so many things missing in like my world building and such. So for the second and third book, I started to actually plot it out and plan stuff more. So the first book, I was a pantser, and second and third book, I was a plantser.
Nice. I like that too, because when I did my first NaNoWriMo, I pantsed, and it was a total mess. Now I'm more of a plantser myself. So, what advice do you have for writers and podcasters starting out?
Well, for writers, I'd say just get started on writing your story. Do not worry about planning it so bad, because if it's your first novel, it's going to be terrible. Like when I was finished my third novel, I went and looked back at my first. Terrible, absolutely horrible. I was even disappointed in myself for even thinking about publishing that without editing it first. So just like, don't worry about how good it's going to be. Just get the words on page, gain the experience, just get better at writing first before you worry about all that editing and publishing stuff. And for the podcasters, I'd say know a good software to record on, because I started off on a site called Spreaker, and it gives you like 5 hours of recording time, and only one podcast host and all that. And like and you have to like pay a whole bunch of money in order to be able to record more time. But then I was later referenced to Anchor, which I did look into before, but they were missing a whole bunch of stuff that I really was interested in before, but later on they added it. So I transferred over to Anchor, and I really like it so far.
I love
So
Anchor.
I'd recommend for podcasters to use Anchor.
I love Anchor. That's what I use too. And that's so cool. But yeah, okay. So sorry, fangirling a little bit over here. Okay, so what are you working on now?
I am currently working on 2 books. One is called I think Sacred Personas, Shrouded Personas. It's a nonfiction book, and the other one I am working on is Shrouded Personas is a fictional like fantasy book, kind of like Deathchill, just a different universe and all that. And I'm also working on a nonfiction book to help like authors and writers start their next novel.
Oh, Ooh, okay. So, and of course, as you well know, this is not scripted.
Mhm.
So, where can people find you online?
Um, uh, on my Instagram, it's at dark_night_wolves. My Twitter, I believe, is Porscha_Aubrey. My YouTube is Porscha Aubrey. You'll be able to see like the podcast episodes on there and all that. Um, uh, I don't really use many social medias. My Facebook's also Porscha Aubrey, though I just set all my posts on Instagram to automatically post on Facebook.
Yeah.
Podcast is Creative Writing Club, obviously. Amazon, you can just search up Porscha Aubrey. You'll be able to find my books there. Kobo, you can search up Porscha Aubrey, find it there. And that is all the socials I can think of right now.
I saw you also have a link tree. I'm gonna put that in the show notes so that
Mhm.
everybody can find everybody can find your social media, your blog, everything.
Mhm.
So, Porscha, I want to say thank you so much for coming on to the show. It's been a pleasure speaking with you. I look forward to talking to you next week to
Mhm.
be on your podcast. So y'all need to check that out. I'm going to be on Porscha's show, talking about my work and my book. So do subscribe to the Creative Writing Club so you don't miss that conversation. So we challenge you today to go out there and read to get inspired, write something inspiring, and share your creation with the world. For when you've touched one life, you've touched thousands. Thanks for joining us on Inspirational Journeys. And remember, your story matters. Have a blessed day, everyone.